Hey folks, pew 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 pew, welcome back to our awesome podcast, which still doesn't have a complete name, so we'll come up with a name until the third episode. Next episode we have an awesome name for you guys. Okay. We thought we talked a little bit about this last time. We want to go more into detail about a bit part-time jobs here in Japan, what kind of jobs I did doing my work and holiday visa, and then we'll talk a little bit about what kind of part-time jobs Surya did during university days and some of my part-time jobs during university days, and how interviews go, how you have to handle the Japanese in interviews, how good your Japanese has to be, and if there are some jobs where you don't need Japanese, where English is sufficient. So we talk about that kind of stuff. And I think for everyone coming here to Japan to study, it's very important to have some kind of part-time job because it's such a big thing of Japanese culture. Almost every student here in the country has some kind of part-time job. That's where the Japanese students gather their experience, their social experience. So I think it's very important for even foreigners and exchange students to have some kind of job at some point here in Japan, and there you can make connections to real Japanese people in a real work environment, not just in a study environment. And I think that's very important to learn about the culture here and to really delve into the Japanese environment and just engulf yourself in that, so that your mindset becomes a bit more Japanese, and then you can see the pros and cons of life here better, I think. And obviously you can make a little bit of money on the side, but I think for most people it would be more important, or equally important probably, to earn a little bit of money while gain Japanese knowledge, Japanese friends, and experience in general here. So let's get into it. Sorry about my long intro here.
Yeah, it's quite long.
So I'm sorry. I just
No,
throw it to you. So
So after we previously talked about our university, I just want to talk about my experience in the part-time jobs. The very first part-time jobs that I got is actually from the school. Actually, we
university
did,
already.
Yeah, university.
Yeah.
Actually, we did it together.
Yeah. Were we working at the same time?
I think you started first.
Okay.
So first of all, it was the I think it should be called a computer lab supervisor, because basically we just go to the computer lab. We took notes how many people came, make sure that no one's eat or drink there, right? Is it?
Yeah, very strict. Yeah. No eating from the computer.
And then we just sit there, do nothing, and we get about, I think, 800 yen per.
Yeah, it was so cheap. But I think the minimum wage is 900 something here. I think they pay minimum wage, or did they pay lower?
But it's like 2014, 2015.
Yeah, probably was. Yeah.
But we also didn't do anything, right?
Yeah,
we just sit down, just take notes how many people came, and then that's it. We get money. It was a really good job. I wish I had it to get.
It was kind of chill.
Yeah.
The thing for me is when I did it, I had so many students that I knew. Mm-hmm. So it's in Japan, you could do this once you're like a bit more senior, like a third year student.
Oh, yeah.
And just a little bit detail, in Japan, universities are 4 years. So in Germany, universities are only 3 years. So, but I think in the US, it's 4 years. How is it in Indonesia university, 4 years?
Indonesia is at least 4 years, but 3 years too. Yeah, it also depends in Indonesia.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can graduate.
Yeah.
With 3 years. All right.
I think so. I'm not really sure.
Okay, because you didn't go there. All right. So no, it's fine. So here in Japan, it's 4 years, and once you're a bit more senior in your third year, or I think in the US you call it your junior, right? I think that's the third year. Yeah. So once you're like a junior or a third year student, then you can take on a bit more responsibility and help out at the school, be a teaching assistant or do this computer lab job and stuff. And
but I think we did a teacher. I did teacher assistant as a second grade. Second year. I think.
All right.
I think because it was like an orientation for first year. And when you enroll the university first time, you get like this 3, 4, or 1 week orientations, and you get the if you get to know your teachers, probably you can help the teacher and you get money from that too.
Yeah.
Did you take it? Do the orientations teacher assistant too?
Yeah, I did that. There was the computer literacy, right? Like.
Okay.
Did you do that?
No.
No, you didn't.
I
Okay.
think, no, not that. I did the business something.
Okay.
I forgot.
Yeah. So I did the teaching assistant, which is computer literacy. So computer introduction, how to use Excel, Word, everything. And then it goes a little bit into programming, but only like HTML. So a little bit of website programming, like you do like in junior high school. And
Yeah, I remember it.
probably right. Yeah. It's so very basic. But anyway, you do that. And yeah, you can start that as a second year student. So once you're sophomore, you can help out the teacher if he knows you're a good student, right? Then,
Yes.
And it was also pretty chill, right?
I think
Yours was different, but
I think it was better than the computer lab supervisor. I forgot. I don't really remember it, but it's still not that great. But again, it's from university.
Yeah, you hand out copies for the professor
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah. I know.
You just sit besides it, and if there's some questions, you can answer it. If not, you can just throw it to the professor.
And for me, the thing was, I did that job, the computer literacy professor assistant, and I did the job at the computer lab, right?
Yeah.
So the people who were under me all knew I was the teacher assistant at this Excel class and stuff.
Oh.
So whenever something came up, they all come to me and like, "Hey, Malte, how do I fix this? Hey, how do I calculate this?" So I had to do all
they
the
were
homework.
like cheating.
Yeah, kind of. And I was like, you're supposed to do that yourself, but then you don't want to be like a asshole.
Yeah.
I don't know if you bleep this out here. I don't care. But obviously you help. But some homework took a very long time, right? Calculation and stuff. So I don't want to do all of that for them. I did that already. I don't want to do it twice. Right?
We need more money for that.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah. Therefore, the money is not enough. 800 yen, like, come on.
But I think that's the first thing that you can, the easiest job that you can get if you're in a university.
Yeah,
I
if
think.
you're a university student, definitely.
And I think the requirement is also quite easy. I think as long as you get a pretty not decent, like okay grade, you can do it. And of course, you need to know a little bit of Japanese at least. Like I think N3. Okay, so if for those who don't know, there's a 5 grade in Japanese languages. So from 1 to 5, 5S being the lowest and 1 being the highest. So at least I think N3, I think, is it? I don't.
I don't have anything.
You don't?
No, I never took any.
Oh, really?
It's called JLPT, Japanese Language Proficiency Test. Is that correct? Yeah. I know I should have taken it, and it's pretty good if you want to have your permanent visa here or something. You get points for that, but I couldn't be bothered. I was like, at one point, I didn't want to study any Japanese anymore. I was like, it's fine, I live here, I know enough, right? I can read the newspaper, I can read everything, I can talk about everything. It's fine, I don't need this. And so I never did anything, and not even 5. I probably could do level 2. Level 1 I know is a bit
it's a bit
specific,
hard because of the kanji, the Japanese character stuff. But I think we took a normal Japanese classes too, right? So that's definitely N2 there.
And we're going to talk about this in a future episode but we took like banking classes in Japanese, right? Banking system and international economics and whatever, and everything in
like
Japanese.
The Japanese civil law. I've
so once you through that grinder, then I think you're fine with the Japanese, just like.
So after we did the the easiest one, computer lab supervisor, of course, there's the open campus stuff.
Yeah, I never did that.
You didn't, right?
No. Okay, I know there are like universities have a lot of stuff to do for foreign students. Like you want to help out here and there. It's not much money, but it's like
but it's easier than a proper part-time jobs.
How was your open campus? What was
like? So the open campus actually, it was more like, I think I'm the only foreigners there.
Yeah, you were always engaged with like doing stuff Japanese people usually do, help out everyone and stuff. I was always like, I can't be bothered. I couldn't. I didn't do any of that stuff.
I'm in Japan. I just want to try to mingle with the Japanese, So I do everything that most foreigners, didn't really touch into. So open campus stuff is like, there's an open campus for high school students or sometimes the parents to see. So I just go there and help the teachers like to the job is only to guide. Oh, this is this room. This is this. This is this. This is like just a guiding, just guide. And sometimes though, I didn't get it because I'm not really that good at classes.
Explaining this stuff.
Yeah. Some people were asked to do to do presentations to the high school students or probably the parents
Yeah.
about what they do in classes or something like that. And also I was a foreigner, so I'm not that good as fluent as a.
So it was all in Japanese. The presentation.
It was all
stuff,
in Japanese, except for some things that needs English, probably like English class, of course. Yeah. So we just usually just guiding the people there, but it was quite a good money, I think. For
was?
Yeah, I think. I mean, not as quite as good as proper part-time jobs, but I think like one day 8,000 or something like that.
That's pretty good, actually. Yeah.
I forgot, but it's something like that. So it was quite good.
Was it on regular university days where there were lectures and stuff, or was it on weekends or something?
Oh, it's weekend, of course.
Right.
No.
So it's you have to go there especially.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was mostly like jobs you do on campus. So if you're a university student, just hook up your. What do you mean?
Didn't you do also the what do you call it? Like sometimes we have like, you know, the TOEFL and IELTS and Japanese have like what do you call it? The English proficiency test, like the Japanese one. I heard you also did that, right?
Yeah, Japanese people love certificates. So just as a disclaimer here, Japanese people love if you have like, do you have a shikaku? Do you have like a certificate or something for that? And so everyone takes all these certificates for everything. So in Japan, I don't know, it's called eiken, which is a English proficiency.
Yeah, literally.
And I think, when do you start taking that? Like in junior high school or something, you take that?
I think, because some people took like the second level, which is the second highest level. Yeah.
So I think in Japan, if you want to go from a good junior high school to a good high school, and even from a high school to a good university, it's very stressful. A lot of tests you have to do. Good academically. So I think if you have like high eiken level, if your English proficiency is high, then it's probably easier to get into a good high school and stuff.
Definitely.
So it's mostly junior high school students, 14, 15 years old, I guess, who take it, or even younger.
I think around that. I
think so too.
Of course, high schools.
Yeah, so our university had the eiken, this English test, was at the university. So they had the interviews there and the written tests there and everything. So they needed people who supervise that, so who sit there and do like the reception and check the students' names and stuff. And so they just asked who wants to do it, and I was like, well, I need money. So for me, it was like I could never do stuff that was free. I could never do stuff to help out. Obviously, I did some stuff, but I couldn't be as involved as you were because I had to pay all the university and my living costs and everything. So that was a bit difficult to pay everything because it's not so cheap. In Germany, you pay nothing for education, or you pay taxes, obviously. But so here in Japan, everything is private, or most of the stuff is private. And our university was a private university, which costs like 13,000 US dollars or something per year. So it wasn't super cheap. Anyway, so I always needed money. I always needed was on the lookout. So I think the money was pretty good at this eiken, at this English proficiency. And I think I was the only foreign guy there. And the parents were like, do you do the interviews?
Because you're not Japanese?
Yeah, because I look like I'm a Western guy. So they were like, it's in there? Is it out here? I'm like, no, I just take your name and stuff. So they did that. It was just like 2 days, and it was pretty fun. See, it like young people very engaged and trying to improve themselves. And pretty awesome.
Yeah. So I just remember that it's not really part-time jobs, but it's like sometimes in our university there's they took what do you call it, drama scenes there. And like, for example, like the drama scenes is where the students are doing the graduations or entrance ceremony or something like that, and we get to join that. I mean, we were asked to, and then we get to join that. I joined it. We're gonna be talking about this later too. I joined. I did the what do you call it? I just giving out brochures and
flyers and stuff?
flyers, handing out flyers, just for 2 seconds. But really, it's actually quite fun.
You didn't get money for that, right?
No, we
It's
didn't. I
free.
just
help out.
some food, some souvenirs, and we did get to see the actresses and actors.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know
it was
that.
in front of us. They were in front of us, so it's quite fun. We're
Okay,
gonna
I
be
didn't
talking
even know about that. All right. Yeah, so most of the jobs we talked about now is university. So obviously that is just for university students. But if you look for a job, you should check out your local office at your university for that help foreign students, exchange students.
Yeah.
They will probably give you some guidance of you can probably find a job here or there if you speak only English.
Yeah.
Then they can maybe introduce you to like an English school where you teach English or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, they have.
Or if you speak some Japanese, maybe some jobs like we did at university. But obviously, many people come here as well just to work a little bit and travel around a little bit. So if you have, like, for example, a working holiday like I had, then you maybe speak no Japanese at all. So then for me, when I came back to Japan, I was like, my Japanese was okay or something. I really needed to brush it up in order to get into university. So, but I had not so much money. So I was living in a very small share house and always looking for like some kind of job. And I actually like had one interview. It was, it's izakaya. Izakaya is
like a bar or pub, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a Japanese style pub. You get a lot of food. You get like all you can drink, and you sit in a booth most of the time, like only your friends, and then you can drink and eat there, or you can eat or you can drink or something. So it's pretty fun. Yeah, so everyone who comes to Japan should check out any izakaya.
Yeah,
right?
you
So
should, by the way, if you want to come.
Yeah, so I had an interview at an izakaya, right? So I went there, and there was just me and one other Japanese girl, and she looked kind of like this, like, I'm not interested in this, and I was like, I need this job, and then we had the interview with the guy, and I was like so convincing. I was like, I'm the right man for this job. I want to do this. I wanted to work in Japanese izakaya for 2 years already. Blah, blah. I told him like some stuff, right? Then he was like, I get the call back, and it's like, Malte, you're employed, good to go. We take you in. And I was like, woohoo, job is in izakaya. I was so happy. And they gave me clothes, right? They gave me a jacket and pants and everything. The menu book to learn. And then I had an introductory like training.
Oh, yeah.
And I think because I'm the only foreign guy there, it was a one-on-one. The Tencho, the boss, the manager, the store manager, and me. So it was just us two, right?
Yeah.
And then he had like a guidebook in Japanese, and he went through it and was like, in this instance you do this and this, and blah, 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 blah. It was a lot of Japanese, this thick of a guidebook. And my Japanese was like this, so like ma. And I didn't know anything like what he talked about. He was so fast, right? And he just brushed with like, blah, 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 blah. And in the end he asks you like 5 to 10 questions. Like, what do you do when the customer coughs, or when the customer takes out some medicine? And then you are supposed to say, oh, I bring him some glass of water or something. But I couldn't understand the question, so I was like, and then I answered just something like, you say arigato gozaimasu, you say thank you, and the teacher was like, no, Malte. And then he was angry at me, kind of. We were both laughing, right? But in the end he was like, daijoubu kana? I don't know if that's fine, right? And then I go back home, and I wake up on the first day I had to go to work, and then I get a call. I'm like, oh, I have to go now. I'm so nervous. Can I do it? I get a call, and he's like, it seems that we're not allowed to employ foreigners. And I'm like, what? And I think it was because of my super bad reaction to his questions.
That was definitely an excuse.
Yeah, he definitely kicked me off.
No way.
He was like, we can't let this guy run free on customers, right?
Definitely
so yeah,
excuses.
That was not so nice. So yeah. In the end, I ended up in like kind of not a maid cafe here, like maid cafes here in Japan. I think most of people know.
It's a themed cafe if you want to know.
Yeah. And where I worked was as a butler. You were supposed to only speak English, so it was the foreigners butler cafe. So they were all foreign guys, like from France, from America, from America, from the UK, from all over the world.
Yeah, it's
right?
more like a Western. I think. Is it right?
But we all had like to wear these butler suits, and we were only allowed to talk English. And we had all our backgrounds set up. We used different names. My name was Butler Henry. Right? So,
Henry.
my name is Butler Henry. And then you come up with some stuff. We live in this butler mansion. And I like the cello. And like you're a butler, right?
Yeah.
You only are allowed to know this high-level class stuff. Not allowed to know the low-level normal music and stuff. So, and we call our customers princes. So they have a bell at the table and they ring the bell, ding, and then everyone in unison is like, "Yes, my princess," or something. It was all in English. They paid you bar on the hand in cash.
Oh, really?
So okay. I don't know too much about their taxes. I don't want to say anything wrong. They probably paid the taxes properly, but we get weekly in cash on hand, right? So it really helped me out because my Japanese was not so good, and I worked there for like the whole year during the working holiday, just like 2 times a week or something. But it was really helped me out. Did you have any other job, like not university related, then?
Yeah, actually, I had 2 part-time jobs that I did. I mean, one is just like a one-time thing, and the other one is it's just like a normal. If you guys know gyudon. What's the popular one?
Yoshinoya.
Yoshinoya. Yeah, so it's like a gyudon beef bowl.
Beef
stuff.
bowl, yeah.
I did work at the Yoshinoya's rival. It was Matsuya. So I don't really remember how I got it at that time, because I think I was on the 3rd year. I have plenty of time. I almost finished all of my credits in the high schools. University. So I was thinking, hey, why not look for money? Well, try to do a part-time job, because I never did one. Also, the money was quite good because I chose the late night one.
Yeah. If you work here in Japan and you have chance to work late at night, you get more money, like 25% up or something.
25%.
So
it's actually quite good. Mine, I think it was like probably 8 years ago. Oh no, 7 years ago, probably 2016, I think. It was 1250 yen, so it was quite good, I think.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good right at that time. So I was looking for a job. I don't know where to find. So I just walk around university, around my neighborhood where I live, and I found some like looking for part-time jobs, and I just go in there, ask them, can I do it? Yes. Try to bring your resume or things like that. I bring it in. I do the interview, and then I think the next week after, I didn't really remember it. So we just and then I get accepted. I did, they also have the manual too, actually.
Yeah. How was the interview? Was that all in Japanese, and was it difficult for you, or what did he ask? Difficult question, or was it more basic, like how to get to know you, like as a person?
It was just a basic question. It's not really an interview. It's just like a talk, I think.
Okay.
Because I just show him my resume. I have no previous work experiences. So they literally don't have things to ask. They just testing my Japanese skills, and they asked me to try to remember the menus and stuff like that. Try to speak in Japanese, and they just test me those things, and they say I'm qualified. So I just try to came, I think the next week, or I forgot.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one, you definitely need Japanese language skills.
Yeah, customers are all Japanese people.
Yeah,
right?
everyone's Japanese. No one speaks English there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not even in the middle of Tokyo. If there's in Tokyo, like probably Shinjuku or someplace like that, probably you're gonna need it, but it's not.
Yeah, that's also one big thing. I tried in the beginning when my Japanese was kind of fine, but not really good. My keigo, my formal Japanese, wasn't so good. I tried to find jobs where we live, like in the outskirts around Tokyo, and I found it super difficult.
Yeah,
like no one employs you if your Japanese isn't kind of flawless. But if you go to Tokyo, they're like, I worked in a beer bar, and it was just, you were foreign, it was fine. You didn't need any Japanese. Like it was more fun for the customers to see you like trying to talk in Japanese to the customer, and the customers would enjoy that and just see foreign people there. So if you're in Tokyo, it's probably easier to get a job. But
so if you can't really actually speak Japanese, or you're not that fluent, it is better if you go to look a job in Tokyo. and the money's also way better there.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, it's kind of cool that they took you in. You look kind of like Japanese, right?
I can blend in.
People mistake you for a Japanese
Yeah.
person, yeah, right?
Yeah, I mean, even my first friend I met in the university, he didn't know that I'm not a Japanese until I told him my full name.
Yeah.
You're not Japanese? Wow.
I met a mutual acquaintance of ours, and he was like, yeah, he's not Japanese. Like, you're Japanese and your looks and everything. So
and even my name sounds like Japanese when I try to make it sound like Japanese.
I had a part-time job at a gym, at a sports gym, right?
Yeah, I heard it.
As an instructor. That was when my Japanese was pretty good. So because you have to know all the muscle names in Japanese and have to explain the machines, how the muscles and the tissues work together, you have to explain all of that to the customers. So your Japanese needs to really be top-notch. But I was working there in the gym. And
wait, so your Japanese not that fluent before you apply that job, but then you apply it, and how did they accept you? I mean,
the gym, you mean?
Yeah, the gym.
I think I called 10 gyms and just asked, like, do you look for someone who can work?
Oh.
And at that time I was the head of our weight training circle at university.
Oh, right.
So I had some knowledge a little bit. But they obviously don't know that, right? So I just called different gyms and told them, like, I am the head of this circle, it's called in Japan, this club, weight training club there, and I want to make this like a part-time job to learn more. And just one position, I really got along with the sub-manager. He was like, oh, I give you a shot. And obviously the muscle names and stuff, you don't need to know all of that in the beginning, but they teach you all of that. But to take all of that in, I think your Japanese needs to be pretty good. If your Japanese is kind of basic or bad, it's like you can't get all the special words and stuff. It's quite difficult.
Yeah, but you actually probably at that time your Japanese proficiency was also like level 2 probably.
Yeah, I think so. It was like also my junior years at university or my sophomore years, end of sophomore year, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely. So I think if you want to work with using Japanese, I think those who want to come to Japan definitely need at least level 2, I think.
Yeah, and it's a lot of, you need to know reading and writing as well.
Yeah.
So what I want to say is when I worked at the gym, my name is Malte, right? In Japanese, it's Marute.
Yeah.
And the Japanese kind of have Marute. It's like a Marui-te or something.
Yeah.
So I always write my name. Japan has 3 alphabets, right? The hiragana, the katakana, and the kanji. Yeah. I think probably everyone knows about this, but if you want us to make an episode about it, we can.
We're gonna talk maybe later.
So I write my name in katakana, Marute, and I wrote it on my locker, on my and the Japanese guy comes back and he's like, Malte-san, da-da-da. Who is Malte-san? He thought it was just Japanese, just because of the names.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's me. And he's like, oh. I was like, oh, you're not Japanese. Just from the name, he thought I was Japanese. He was like, might be possible. And he was like pretty surprised, but
yeah,
some kind of like stuff like that happens. Yeah. One bad thing can also happen here. My Japanese was not very good, and I saw these job ads online, and this was for electricity installation.
Oh, okay.
So, and they said no experience necessary, no driver's license necessary. They pick you up, they drive you to the construction site, and then they teach you everything for the electrical installation. And the money was pretty good. It was 1,200 or something at the time.
Yeah.
And so I had an interview, and I went to the small company and talked to the CEO, to the boss. And he was like, yeah, it's no problem. You can work here. Don't need any Japanese. That's fine. All you need is like work clothes, like blue collar work clothes. You just buy them and then you can work. You call me and no problem. So I went to Workman. It's like a shop for blue collar clothes, right? You know, Workman. Yeah. So if you ever want to work here as like something that has like handyman stuff to do, then go to Workman. But I went there and had no money, right? So I bought these work clothes for 2,000, 3,000 yen or something, which was a lot of money at the time. And then I was like, oh, now I can work. Then I call him and I'm like, I bought the work clothes you told me to buy. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't work with Gaijin. I can't work with foreigners. I'm like, yeah, tell me that before I go and buy the stuff. What's this now?
Yeah.
Like, it was so like
it was
rude,
definitely, it's not, it's more like I think probably like a Was that guy like a really old guy? Or
He was
something?
pretty, I don't know, like in his 60s maybe or something. So
Yeah,
not super old. Super old? He wasn't 100 or something, but
because what I heard, or at least what I know, is in Japan, especially the elderly, they have the tendency to
something on.
yeah.
I think we kind of lost video here.
Okay.
Okay.
We run out of batteries, so yeah. So where were we last time?
I just told the story how this guy told me, you can work for me, just get these work clothes and then I employ you, it's fine, no Japanese needed. And then I get the work clothes for 3,000 yen and I'm like, I get the work clothes, man, let me work. And he's like, no Gaijin at my company.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, no foreigners allowed or something.
So we were talking about that, and it was definitely, I think, from my experience, especially the elderly, it was definitely a racist thing.
Yeah.
For at least from my experience.
I mean, in the moment, probably when we talked, when I was in front of him, he was like, oh, this guy seems nice because I'm a super nice guy, right?
Yeah.
He said probably, this guy's nice, I want to give him a chance. But then when I left, he didn't really think I would buy the work clothes and call him back. And then he probably also had some time to think. And then he was like, maybe foreign guy is not such a perfect fit for my company. And then in the end, he decided against me. Maybe he didn't have like the racist thought in the beginning or
Maybe,
something.
I don't know.
Maybe it was just like he calculated what would be best for his company. Maybe he found someone else.
Maybe
so I don't really
too.
want to say he seemed to be a nice guy, so I don't want to be the victim here or
we-
anything.
We're
It's
not
like,
actually
nah.
saying he is racist or not, but there were a lot of cases where they just have like this, I don't know, Gaijin hate, something like that.
some people have that. And
Yeah, especially because we're gonna be talking about this maybe in the future later, because one of my friend get this Gaijin hate thing, especially in the
Oh.
trains. Yeah.
at work or
It's actually more at stations at
trains,
just
okay. Transit and stuff.
transits and stuff, and even just normal streets. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about this in depth later.
I think it got a bit more intense after this whole COVID stuff, right?
Yeah,
When after
definitely.
Japan closed down and they were really like, COVID is from the outside. Here in Japan, it's still like it's an island, so it's very shut off. So everyone or many people were like, it was a foreigners' fault or something. So now foreigners come back and maybe they're not so positively
I think
minded towards
maybe.
foreigners. They think they bring this back. Obviously,
Yeah.
that's like very minority in Japan. Most people are pretty nice and
Yeah.
probably don't have these thoughts.
Very
but there
minority.
definitely is this kind of
Yeah, just
sub-level
just
here,
like
so,
if you
everywhere,
came,
but-
just be prepared. But not everyone's like that. Just
Yeah,
just
sure.
just
Most
be
people are pretty
prepared.
cool.
Nothing
So,
nothing
yeah.
bad comes off from
Yeah.
prepared.
And I mean,
stuff.
in many cases, it's like how you regard yourself. If you are like polite and nice, Japanese people mostly are also polite
Yeah.
and nice, right? Obviously, there's some assholes everywhere, so sometimes you can be as nice as anyone, and they will be not friendly and be like "Bleh, bleh," or something. But you have
Yeah.
that everywhere, so I don't know if it's like a
I mean,
cultural
it's
thing.
just
really,
like
so-
just some people. So we just
Yeah.
prepare yourself.
yeah, just keep going. Don't be the victim here. It's all fine. You find something. Everyone finds something. So I had literally only 1 month left of money to pay rent and stuff. And then I found this butler's cafe job without Japanese and stuff.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
find something. So and
Yeah,
I think
if you try to find it, you'll find something.
Yeah.
Because like the other part-time job, it's just a one-time thing because it's really boring for me. It was sometimes there's some people that are just what do you call it, just holding a board, a promotional board, sign board. So just hold that, wait for 8 hours, just that.
Stand around with it. Do you hand out some flyers or you just stand
No,
there
just
like this?
just stand. And of course, they give you the chair, but you just sit there, hold it. Do not do anything weird. Do
Yeah,
not touch your
so
phone.
weird.
And I'm like, why?
Yeah, I've never seen that anywhere. I mean, I haven't
No?
been that much around the world. You probably have seen more countries than I have. But
Okay.
when I was in the US or in Germany or wherever I was in Korea or Dubai or something, sometime in some places, I never saw that kind of stuff. But I see it like often in Japan, like especially old guys, right? Old
Yeah.
men, and they want some part-time job, even though they receive their pension, and they're like, you work here till you're 65, right?
Yeah.
And then the company doesn't have to employ you anymore. They can say like, we don't need you, we let you go. And then, but still for some people, the money they get on pension is not enough. So they make part-time jobs. And Japanese
Yeah.
people love to work. So some people can just be home.
Some people just love to do it.
Yeah, so I've never seen that in Germany. In Germany, no one would employ a person and pay them money to stand around there like a pole to
Yeah.
hold the sign. They would just put the sign somewhere and bind it to some.
It's definitely more
something, right?
sustainable, and
Yeah.
it's more it's better.
Yeah, but you see that they sit on the chair all day, like pretty bored, holding the sign. Like,
Yes.
why? Like,
I was like, why would you do this?
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I got the money at least.
it was pretty good money. It's not so bad.
It was. I think it was like 9,000 a day, 8 hours.
8 hours, okay.
It was okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, excluding the transport, of course. So if including the transport, it's just
Yeah.
9 hours. I think 9,000. I think.
Okay. Yeah. So this episode got pretty long, and we haven't even talked about half of our jobs here. I think I have
Yeah.
like, when I was at university, I had 5 jobs at the same time. So I was
Really?
always, I was always working
is it
here and
including
there.
the teacher assistant? Stuff
Yeah,
like
I
that?
was doing the
Okay.
teacher's assistant. I was doing the computer lab. Then I was working at Hollister, selling clothes
yeah,
at an
you
apparel
told me.
shop. Then I was at times working at the gym. I was working in Ikebukuro in a German restaurant. So I had like,
okay.
I had plenty of jobs at the same time. So yeah, it was pretty stressful. But
I didn't do much, but yeah.
you do but you did other stuff. Like, we will talk about this. He went to the US and did some
It's
Model
the
United Nations
Model
and
United
stuff.
Nations
yeah,
and
which is
just
also super interesting stories.
a lot of Japanese school festival comedy
Yeah,
where
way more
everyone
than
is
I did.
literally Japanese. So I made a lot of Japanese friends,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Anyway, so this got pretty out of hand here, so we will come back to this eventually. Just some tips. If you look for a job, if it's in Japanese or even some jobs in English, you can use Indeed.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty good.
.com, I think.
They have like, you can just type in what you're looking for. You can type in foreigner and they come up with like hotel clerks and stuff. So a lot of
and
jobs here you can get.
I think the other one is Gaijin Pot.
Yeah, I think
something
everyone
like that,
knows that. Yeah.
Also, just a short comment on this, because during my language school days, a lot of people actually they can't even speak Japanese like almost at all. Probably just introducing themselves and that's it. But they get a job on a I think it's a factory, something like that, similar to that.
Okay.
It's when you go to a 7-Eleven or just like convenience stores, there's a lot of bentos and lunchboxes and all like that. They are the one that put in
You
the
pack
food.
it.
Yeah,
alright,
the package. And packaging and stuff. You don't need any Japanese. You just
Yeah,
get
factory workers.
Yeah.
Do you know if it's like, if you work for Amazon, right? They have these packers in the back in the
Oh,
warehouse.
yeah.
I don't know if you need Japanese or not, but you get a number and then you get the package from
Yeah.
aisle number something and
I'm
put
not
it in.
sure.
I don't know.
But I think
They pay super good, though.
Really?
They pay so good. Like at night, they
Oh.
pay 20,000 yen per night or something. It's
Really?
good. And they pay transportation, and you can go by car if you have a car and stuff. Yeah.
wow. So it's
So-
20,000 like 8 hours or
Yeah. Exactly. 8 hours, 20,000 yen, and they have a cafeteria, super cheap food there. So
That's actually
you can
quite
spend your
good.
whole day at the Amazon warehouse and earn
Yeah.
like as much money as someone who's full employed here in Japan.
That's one thing if you want to do that.
yeah. I'm not sure if you can do it with English only.
Yeah, I'm
but,
not. I never
I don't
look for it, but we'll
Yeah.
look at it maybe.
Anyways, guys, if you have some more things you want to know about how to find a part-time job here, you want some specific link or something, then just ask us and we can provide
Yeah.
you with some useful stuff.
Definitely.
And that's absolutely no problem. So
And probably we're gonna talk about it in the next episode if you guys want it. So please make sure you
something-
watch it.
yeah. Oh, definitely check out the next
Okay.
episode, because next episode we will have a name for this thing. So.
Yes, finally.
All right. See you guys around.
Okay. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
いいじゃん。